it's the beautiful month of December where we get to reflect and ground, but also move through this darkness that this winter brings. And December is a beautiful month to come back to yourself, to reground yourself before the new year starts. And for me, I don't know what it is like for you, but in January, it sometimes feels like there are so many expectations that you have to move towards your goals and have your first wins by the end of January. And it sometimes feels like this rush almost builds up in December. And this December month is kind of the space in between the cycles. So the cycle of 2025 gets to end and this new cycle gets to start. And it is really beautiful to see this also as a new chapter opening up for yourself. I feel like when talking to many people, it feels like the new year is kind of like, oh, I'm waiting for the new year so I can finally go after my goals. I know what I want to do and I just have to get moving. But then in January, it feels overwhelming. And this is what I experienced too. So December can really be a beautiful start to close this chapter in order to lay a new foundation so we don't feel overwhelmed in January. Because it is beautiful to have this new chapter, and almost like every day is a new chapter, yes, but we have this new year, this fresh beginning where we can refocus our energy towards the things that we want to build. And this can really be a new hobby, a new routine. It doesn't always have to be like a new income goal or some crazy thing, but just to reground with yourself and check in where you are right now. But going after your goals in January, we want to build the stable foundation first, and that is what we want to focus upon today. So welcome back to the Her Inner Revolution podcast. My name is Valerie, and I'm so happy for you to be here. As always, if you have any questions, please leave them down below, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. Today in this podcast, we're doing like a little regrounding ceremony so you can start your new year fresh and re-energized, because also December is a lot about like getting gifts and family dinners and all the things, and it can sometimes, although it is really beautiful, it can sometimes be a lot. So we have a beautiful space in between Christmas and like the New Year's Eve to ground and collect our energies. And this is what we want to talk about today, how you can really use these days where there is kind of a pause, a little break, just to reground yourself. Because I have been talking to a friend and this really got me thinking, because she said, yeah, those days between Christmas and New Year's Eve, there's nothing really happening and I'm not really sure what to do then. I want to do something that feels good for me. So she is learning how to knit, and I thought that is so beautiful just to have this new hobby to bring some peace and clarity into this time where really nothing is much happening, but most of us get a little break from work or studies, and to fill this space with energy that feels good for you, with things that feels good for you, not like falling into a hole and be like, oh my goodness, January is around the corner, what will I do? There is so much pressure. Everyone is signing up to go to the gym and like posting about their awesome goals, and I'm just over here sitting like wondering, what the hell am I even doing? I feel so behind. And then there's this gray weather. And really, to find this new foundation of energy, it is much about finding clarity in this darkness. And the previous years, it has been really tough for me to be in this dark time of the year and find my energy, find my clarity, my drive, because also this motivation kind of vanishes as the sun never shows, especially here in Germany. But using this darkness as your friend, as your guide, as just a safe space for you to reground within yourself, really opens up this portal to receive then this new energy starting with the new year, and actually feel like this new chapter opening up and not like this pressure of, oh my god, I'm so behind. So what we can do in order to ground ourselves and find this fresh new energy that we can take into the new year is really enjoying the December. It's the 14th of December as I'm recording this today. And so we have a couple more days before Christmas. And I think it's so beautiful just to really enjoy this time of darkness, of groundedness, of inner peace, and then use simple tools and techniques to really get the most out of this season. So I've been jotting down some notes, what I love to do in this winter season, just to feel connected to myself and not losing myself in like the New Year hustle, or this, oh my god, everything is dark and gray and I don't want to go outside and I just want to cuddle up in a blanket all day, but I somehow still have to get work done. So in this phase of darkness, this is what I really love to do. So number one is doing nature appreciation walks. This is kind of a weird name, but I have to still come up with a better name for this. But it's so beautiful to just leave your phone at home or put it on do not disturb in your pocket and go outside to enjoy the gray weather, to see where you can spot like little twinkly lights in your neighbor's windows. I love doing that. Or there are little red berries on the bushes outside. Just find little spots, little like signs that nature is still here. It's not all dead. There's still beauty around us. And this nature appreciation walk is just filling you up with so much more energy. And I still do this when it's dark outside, because usually I go to work and it's dark and I come home and it's dark, so I don't get much sunlight or any light during the day. And so it has been really important for me to just take a random simple 10-minute walk around the block, even if it's completely dark. And it's so funny, I look like a weirdo when I go outside because I'm still in my fancy work clothes, but I put my slippers on and I go around the block, because I know like putting on my shoes, tying like a fancy bow would be too much and I would not go outside. It's really random, but that is what works for me. So I just put on my slippers and take a 10-minute walk around the block because it's manageable. I always have 10 minutes. No matter what's going on, I am taking the time. And that is really giving me the energy back that I need, because it's like the fresh air, the coolness of the air. While walking, I feel like I'm getting the thoughts out of my head and just releasing the energy from the day, and also collecting like little beautiful sparkly memories of all the Christmas decorations that are going on. And suddenly it does not feel as sad that I don't get sunlight during the day. And another thing that I love to do, I'm not a pro at journaling yet, but I opened a new journal. I really took some time to set it up in a beautiful way. So I am ready for the new year, but I also have the space for me to reflect, because usually I have a bunch of random letters to myself that I write at the end of each year and then reading it the following year. But now I want to put them in my journals to reread them once it's time for me to open the letter from the last year, and also to have a whole process where I get to reflect on the year. It's not about what did I do wrong and what can I do better. It's more of, how am I feeling right now? Where am I right now on my journey towards where I want to go? And then ask myself, from where I am right now, what can I do for myself in order just to feel better? It's not always about how can I reach like my next income goal, or how can I start investing into stocks or whatever. It's about simple things. What makes me feel good? What do I need in order to listen to myself more, in order to get to know myself more, in order to become my own best friend and take care of myself? Because too many times, and especially when we are in busy jobs that we really have to work a lot, we can sometimes lose ourselves and lose the connection with us. So this journaling exercise that I do every year is not about, the harsh things, the masculine things. Did I achieve my goals or not? It's just about where am I, how am I feeling, and what can I do to take good care of myself. This is an approach that makes me feel good. And it's like, you know, having this conversation with yourself on paper that really then transforms into beautiful actions that guide you throughout the whole year. So I rather like to set an intention. What do I want the next year to be about? About growth, about learning, realigning with what's important to me, focusing on my values. So what is really important to me and how can I bring that into life? So if I want to focus on learning, what topics do I want to learn more about? Can I set like a monthly goal? What topic do I want to focus on? So it's really beautiful to align like with the seasons. And this intention can also change. It's not that you focus on learning and then something else comes in and you still have to like do the learning thing and not allow something else into your life. It's definitely not about that, but it feels kind of like a guiding light. This is where I want to go towards. This is the energy that I want to embody. And another beautiful thing besides setting my attention in my journal is writing this letter for myself that I'm then gonna read at the end of 2026. Just to also future pace myself. Where do I want to be? What do I want to be like? How do I want to embody myself? Because I think each year is also about recreating yourself. And that is really beautiful because this new chapter opens up and we feel this space to really reinvent ourselves, but not from pressure, but from this self-love of I am worthy of recreating myself, and I also have the power to recreate myself, and acknowledging that. So writing pages full of who do I want to be, but not from perspective of one day I want to hold my head up high and walk into any room and be super confident and magnetic. No, but from the perspective of I am that right now. And I can also tell you why I do this. Because it's not about some future event that you're trying to run towards, but all these qualities, these beautiful qualities like self-love and confidence are already within you. They are not some faraway thing that you're trying to catch, but it's all within you. And by writing this letter of, yeah, you are that right now, you are bringing these qualities to the surface, and it's almost like putting on new clothes and, you know, wearing them in. We say in German that you have, you know, when you buy new shoes, you have to walk in them to make them feel comfortable. And that's also what you're doing with writing that letter to yourself, because you're trying on this new version of yourself. But this new is not maybe the right word, because this version is already inside you. You just become comfortable wearing that version of you, embodying that version of you, because it can also be outside of your comfort zone. So in order to feel comfortable with that new version of yourself, you have to try it on. You have to try it on different days, see how it feels, and also walk through life with these new clothes or walk through life with these new shoes that you're putting on. But it's so beautiful that you get to choose who you want to be, and that is really, I really want to put an emphasis on this, because we're sometimes told you have to be like this or you have to behave like that way, but it's really not the case. Acknowledging this creation power that you have within you also radiates then into your life, because that already makes me so magnetic that you know and feel in your body that you can each and every day decide who you want to be. And by writing this letter and these pages to yourself, you are trying these clothes on and embodying her, bringing her to life. And something that really helped me on this journey of becoming more myself is acknowledging how I'm feeling. In the past, it has always been like such a big expectation that I always have to feel happy, I always have to be in a good mood, I always have to feel great, and I always want to talk to people and be out there and do everything. But it's really not trip. It's not, we don't always have the same energy state. We don't always feel the same way. We aren't always in a great mood. And just lowering the expectations that I get to feel sad, I get to feel angry, and it's totally okay. I don't need to chase this image of myself that is always happy, because I'm not a monk who lives in a monastery, always like content with anything. I'm like just a hustle and bustle girl in the real world, and it's so beautiful just to connect to all the stories that are happening, all the challenges and all the good things that are happening, just feeling into them and moving through them and letting go of this expectation that I don't get to feel this way, and it's not okay for me to feel this way for a whole day or a whole week or a whole month even. It is absolutely okay, and it's so beautiful to hold this space for yourself. And often in winter, it can be the way that you don't always feel super excited and motivated to do everything. It can feel slower and a little more calm and a little more easeful, a little more, okay, I want to like cuddle up on the couch, and that is beautiful. And by checking in with yourself, how you feel, you can then reply to your needs in a much better way. And I think that is so important and so overlooked, that if we are sad, we sometimes just want to skip that chapter. But what is the anger, the sadness, the frustration, the emotions? What are they trying to tell you? Because as soon as I started to listen to my emotions as a guide, and them being different voices within me that are trying to teach me something, I felt so much more in touch with myself. And through this acceptance and checking in with myself, I really learned that I get to be all the sides of me. I don't have to go somewhere and hide my sadness, or I don't have to go somewhere and act all like I'm in the greatest mood ever and my life is super awesome, when actually challenges happen, and it does happen, and it is totally okay. But checking in with yourself, what you really need, and also then setting boundaries is really beautiful. Because yes, we want to be that good friend that, you know, never cancels a meeting, but we also want to protect our energy when we really just don't feel good. And this is about checking in with yourself and asking yourself, how much time do you want to spend with friends? December can also be a month where you intentionally spend more time with your friends and family, but it can also at the same time be like, okay, I'm not in, I don't feel it. I just want to spend time with myself. And that is totally okay. There is sometimes this pressure, especially around Christmas, to be super jolly, holly, whatever, and attend every Christmas gathering and go anywhere and everywhere. But for me, I don't really feel it. I like to be at home. I like to cozy up here, have my tea, have my journaling session, and really spend time with myself. And then when I feel like, oof, I want to spend this time with friends and family, I am extra present when I am with them, because I intentionally chose that I am here now. And I'm not somewhere else dreaming about like my couch and some Netflix or I don't know what. But I'm actually happy about meeting those friends and those family, being more intentional about how you spend your time and what you actually need just to be there for yourself. The third thing that is really important to me is adjusting my routines. In summer, I love to get up early, catch the first sunrise, catch the first sunlight, spend a lot of time outside and just be more active. But in winter, it just feels good to adjust my routines to my needs. And then again, it comes back with checking in with myself, because it not only reflects our emotions, but it can also come into our routines. I personally love to meditate each morning, but sometimes I just feel super sleepy and, you know, I see darkness when I wake up and I just want to stay in bed. And what I love to do is I do the same meditation every morning, and sometimes I'm like pumped, I'm so excited, so stoked, and after that I'm having like a little 6 a.m. dance party. But on those days where it's super dark right now, I feel like just lying on the floor, And being with myself, visualizing things, visualizing my day or how I want to feel, visualizing the life that I want to live, to manifest that. And who says you have to sit up for your meditation just because, I don't know, it's told in many books that an upright spine is the perfect thing. Yes, okay. But if it feels more approachable for you to continue with your routines that feel good for you, but do it in a more gentle way, that is really special. So what routines can you adapt and change and adjust so it fits your winter routine and your winter schedule and makes you feel good and still being aligned and anchored into this energy that you want to embody? Because I can imagine when you're watching this that you kind of want to feel great and you want to connect more with yourself, and whatever your big goals are in life, it is really beautiful to stay aligned with the energy that you want to embody in order to attract what you want. So these routines are still very, very important, even if it's just grabbing a beautiful cup of tea and holding that in your hand while, I don't know, speaking affirmations, journaling. Do whatever feels good for you and still have that space where you get to slow down intentionally. And it's also so beautiful to do this check-ins during the day, to not only have a morning routine. That sometimes is a big word, but you can use 10 minutes or 5 minutes just to spend this time and check in with yourself intentionally. Because when we say, yeah, I'm going to do that maybe for, I don't know, I'm going to do that tomorrow as soon as I get time, it's probably not going to happen. So still keeping yourself on track is really beautiful. And maybe just writing down in your journal, this week I'm gonna take 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes at night. In the morning I will do journaling and my meditation for 5 minutes, and then at night I will do a calming breathing routine, grab my tea and just be present with my cup of tea. That's already more than beautiful. It is so beautiful that these little tiny things really have the potential to shape our entire life, because sometimes we don't do things because we think, if I do 5 push-ups, it's not gonna be it's not gonna show any effects. If I do 20 squats, who is going to care? Yes, but 20 squats over time every single day for an entire year, that's a lot. You can do the math. And also doing 5 push-ups each day, that's amazing. Who says that you need to do 100 push-ups a day to make it work? No. It can fit into your schedule. It can be soft, it can be gentle, it can be all the things. It doesn't have to be the super dramatic big thing. You can start with 1% better every day, 1% connecting more to yourself every day, 1% of following your routines. 1% is getting up 1 minute earlier or 5 minutes earlier, just to take time for yourself and have a beautiful morning space just to spend time with you. And maybe when your brain says, this is too little to make a difference, you can tell yourself, hey, I got you, I feel you, we're still going to do this. Even 1 minute is beautiful. If you just set a timer and be in silence with yourself for 1 minute, it suddenly feels like, wow, 1 minute is a lot and 1 minute can really change a lot. So these are really beautiful techniques and ways to connect back with yourself, and also use this time of darkness for reflection, calmness, and recentering to your inner peace. And if you feel like moving through this process together feels really beneficial to you, then my one-on-one coaching spots are open right now. Just send me a message or an email or find me on Instagram, and we can hop on a call to see where you are right now and how I can best support you on your journey. Thank you so much for being here, and I'm so excited to see you in the next episode.